Parents, does it cross your mind every 9/11? What should I say to my children, many of whom weren't even alive in 2001? Or should I say nothing at all? Dr. Robert Sahl is the medical director of child adolescent psychiatry at Hartford Hospital. He's joining me now in studio to talk about this. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
So obviously, such a painful day to recall, but there's also that desire that we have as parents to, of course, honor the dead and to involve our children in a way that is appropriate, but often we just don't know how to do that and make that happen. What are some suggestions you would have? First of all, should we talk to our children about 9/11?
Well, I think you need to use common sense with this, as I'm sure most parents do. On the one hand, we want to remember those who have passed and the tragedy of the event. On the other hand, I think we have to remember the vulnerability of our own children and be aware that how we react to things, they're going to notice, they're very sensitive to, and yet we have to be available to answer questions that might come up for them.
What would be reasons not to talk about this with our kids?
I wouldn't bring this up de novo to kids. I would give them the space to come to us and be available to them to ask questions. Things like this might come up at schools, for instance, today. I'd be ready to answer questions on a developmental level.
So age appropriate?
Age appropriate, what they can understand, but also knowing what are their reactions at different times. How do they handle stress? How do they handle anxiety? And I wouldn't go into all the details of the event. I would temper that depending on what I felt they could understand. The older child, teenager, I would give more details to. The younger the child, I'd give much less, more superficial answers.
Doesn't it all come down to our children need and want to feel safe?
Yes.
And is that what we have to keep in mind here, offering safety? I mean, obviously, you know, because I've had my own children even say to me, but Mom, you can't guarantee that'll never happen again.
Right.
You know, and they're right. But at the same time, what they want me to say is something in that moment that makes them feel safe.
And I think they need to know that we're there for them, that other systems have been put in place to assure safety, and that people are going to continue to monitor the situation, and God willing, it never happens again.
And focus on the resilience, not the hatred behind the day.
Exactly. And I think we also have to remember that kids are resilient, probably more so than we realize at times. So tempering, remembering vulnerabilities, and yet realize that they can handle quite a bit at times too.
Great advice. Dr. Sahl, thanks so much for coming, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.